Welcome back, guys. Smithy back for the last round with this sweet blue-red deck. Sweet is probably not the right word for it, but anyway, let's go on the play. This hand is fine. We'll keep this. We've got Trinket Mage to get a Mox. We still don't have the Mox in our deck. Oh my god. So during deck building, I forgot to put the Mox in our deck because I took it out because I just counted it as a land, and I forgot to add it back in. And after every round, I've said that I forgot to add it back in. So we've just played an entire league not with the Mox in our deck. All right, whatever. Let's play play the Steam Events and Pass. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone opening a Mox and not played it. And again, we're against another blue deck. Mystical Tutor, sure. The old writing of this is very confusing because the original Mystical Tutor actually says search a library for an instant sorcery or mana source and put it onto the top of your library. Or reveal it and then, yeah. And mana source is a very vague thing to say. They've rewritten it so you can't get mana sources anymore. See what our opponent's going to get. It sounds like a Storm deck. Generally Mystical Tutor you don't want to play unless you have something broken. Reanimator, okay, sure. So they are a combo deck. Not a Storm version though. Hopefully we're not too slow for our opponent. I'll play the Trinket Mage here because if we get the Mox, then next time we can actually play the sword and equip it. And we still don't have the Mox, I literally just said that. Alright, we'll get Pithing Needle. In case they reanimate Griselbrand. Yeah. And we'll just pass the turn back. In fact, milling might not even be what we want to do if our opponent's going to draw. Reanimate. Oh, they've got it in the hand now, don't they? Alright, they're 3 colours. Dak Faden. Sure. That's strange to play that into a Pithing Needle, so I assume they're going to loot to discard something they want to reanimate. Sphinx of this Final Wind. Yep. So it's protection from red and green, and it's got flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink, protection from red, and protection from green, and it's a 6/6. Just in case that wasn't enough. So we're going to play the mountain. Play Pithing Needle on Dak Faden. And we're going to play the sword. Whilst we can't race our opponent life total wise, we can try and nil them out before they can kill us. Which isn't going to be easy, but... Actually, we might be able to race... no. So they'll pay 8. Yeah, they'll pay 8 to reanimate this, but then they're going to gain the life anyway, so... Actually, yeah, we'll be able to race them because they play it. It can't attack us this turn, and then we equip the sword, and then the Trinket Mage will have protection from the Sphinx because it's got protection from blue. So we'll hit them, mill them for 10 down to 17. Then it's their turn, they go down to 16. Our turn, we attack them again. Then they attack us, and then yeah, so we should actually be alright to race them. They're gonna preordain, sure. And careful study. So it looks like they're gonna try and use a different target now because I think they've worked out that the Sphinx isn't quick enough. Griselbrand might be okay, because then they can just draw a bunch of cards and do something with all the cards, I expect. Just Faithless Looting in our hand, okay. So they don't have a new target for Reanimate. But Faithless Looting is quite nice because they can bring that back from the graveyard. So play the Colonnade and equip the sword. So attack our opponent, put them down to 6, but more importantly we're going to mill them as well. Necromancy, Grave Titan, Sundering Titan. Wow, okay, nice. Our opponent's got a lot of good cards in the deck. I know I say that a lot because obviously we're in Vintage Cube, but like compared to our deck is just a pile with like Time Twister and stuff. Like we have Ugin and Goblin Guide in the same deck, which is not good. But hopefully we can steal a 2-1 record out of this. See what else our opponent's up to. They might just flashback this Faithless Looting. It's in their graveyard. Nope. So we can attack for... Oh, this has got Vigilance, so we can't actually attack with the Wolf or the Colonnade here. What do we want to do? I guess we attack first and see what happens. What does our opponent have for Makeshift Mannequin, Sundering Titan? Huh. It's pretty good. So if you're not aware of Makeshift Mannequin, it's a 4-mana instant. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with a Mannequin counter on it. For as long as it has the Mannequin counter on it, it has when this becomes a target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. So put those in any order. It did destroy that swamp as well though, so Sundering Titan blows up one of each basic type when it's battlefield, and we had a mountain and an island, but they had a swamp, so they have to target. And they're now going to block with the Sundering Titan. So we're pretty much just looking for Cryptic Command at this point. Gonna draw a card, hopefully draw Cryptic. Abbott, sure. And we just pass the turn back. I don't think equipping the sword to this will work. I don't think you can actually, so that's irrelevant. It might have actually been better to make both players to draw a card, because that means we could go this turn, players both draw a card, and then if we hit him with the wolf we win. But I think that's a bit narrow to play like that. Gifts, sure. What are they going to go for this time? Our opponent is running out of deck very quickly though. Yeah, actually, yeah, so assuming they pick 2 cards, at least, they'll probably take 4, but if they take 2 then we only have to get 1 hit in with the wolf with a sword on it. So Cryptic does just win. Oh no, it doesn't, because we don't have the mana to do everything. So I put 2 cards in their graveyard. Swamp. And Creeping Tar Pit. I'm not too worried if they're drawing 3 cards from there. Draw a card, because they've only got 8 left in their deck. Again, I could make each player draw a card, but I think that's a little bit aggressive. Skull Clamp. So we don't have any red for Abbott. So I guess we just play the Portal. So if I had plussed this both times, our opponent would be on 6 cards, so they'd now be going to 5, which means they wouldn't be able to cast their Compulsive Research next turn, really, because then it would be getting pretty close. But again, as I said, like, as soon as we can draw a Cryptic to tap all their stuff down, then we should be able to put the game away fairly easily. Because our opponent's just running out of things to do. Like, obviously they're a reanimated deck, they've already reanimated 2 creatures. And they've got Angel of Serenity in the hand, so... Alright, well, I'm actually going to start plussing Jace then at this point. Might have been better to do that earlier, actually. Sidisi and Angel of Serenity. So if they bring back the Angel this turn, then they win. Which it looks like they can't do. I feel like they actually want to attack with the... Oh no, they can't, can they? I was going to say with the Centering Titan because they want this token to die, because next turn we can play Ojutai if we draw an untapped land. Obviously they don't know that though. We're going to choose Carnage. Don't suppose it's going to work. Carnage is destroy every non-land permanent, and Homage is your card. If we just destroy all the non-land permanents, then we would probably just win by milling them out. So we actually want to get rid of this Pithing Needle, and then we can play Dak and steal their Sundering Titan. Don't see how we can do that. Let's plus. Another sword. Can't believe we haven't drawn another red source. I think we are just dead. I guess now we can play Skull Clamp, equip it, and then attack. So what we're looking to draw though, that's the problem. Mox. Because we need to draw like Mox, Land, and Cryptic. Alright, well we're going to attack and see what we can draw. Because they're going to block, I take it. Oh, we should have equipped the sword because they don't actually have to block. Yeah, we had to equip the sword there, 'cause now they just take it. No, they're going to block anyway. Alright, I think that's wrong, but... So there's the red source, but we can't use it because we only have 2 life. Alright, on to the next game. Yep. So we're against Reanimator. I don't think that changes too much. I think we actually want this just to tap down a permanent. We do want the Mox. Don't want the Mountain. The Woe Reaper is actually pretty good. just enter the battlefield, exile a card from their graveyard. We're against Reanimator, so I'm not too worried about life total, so I'm going to actually take out, I'm going to add Mana Confluence for an island. Not for an island, we've got Vedalken Shackles actually. So I'll cut the plains. Don't really want to give our opponent Wheel of Fortune. Or... So one last card. Shackles isn't actually very good against our opponent because all their threats are too big, so let's just take that out. And we'll run that. So we've got an extra creature from the Woe Reaper as well, which is quite nice for the swords. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's not an amazing hand, but it's fairly fast, and we've got all our mana, and we've got Trinket Mage to get whatever we need. It would be nice if we could hit the Mox off Abbott, but I think that's pretty high expectations. Be like, what, 1 in 32 chance? Careful study, sure. So they draw 2 and discard 2. Like an off-the-top Woe Reaper here would be great if they pitch Sphinx, which they have. Mana Confluence, sure. Mox? Just this one time? Skull Clamp. Well, we can't cast it, so we'll just pass the turn. And our opponents just pass the turn. Okay, so play Island. We're going to do this first, so we get the Prowess trigger from the Mox. We could get Pithing Needle, but I think we'd rather just play the Ojutai ahead of Curve. So it looks like our opponent had a fairly good opener, judging by the fact that they could discard their Sphinx, and now we just have to hope that they don't have anything to... oh, they have a Consecrated Sphinx as well. Don't know if we can beat that one either. So that says, whenever an opponent would draw a card, you draw 2 cards. Painful Truths. Sure. Just helps us get their lifetime, which is nice for us. And we drew Cryptic, which is very awkward with our mana, so next time we have to play the Mana Confluence. Really annoying that I didn't play Island earlier, so that was a pretty big mistake by me. But it's cool. Next turn, wherever they cheat into play, we can just go tap it down and kill them, hopefully. So obviously we're going to get in 4 damage here, and then 4, 10, 11 next turn, because of the Prowess trigger. They're going to animate dead on the Sphinx. So that should just be game. Make sure I play the right land. So we're actually going to bounce the animate. We could bounce the creature. Oh no, Yeah, we're going to bounce the Sphinx here, because now they can't just cheat it back into play again or do something. So as long as they don't have a counter spell. Sweet, they don't. Alright, on to game 3. So, anything's changed? Not really. Be nice if we could have access to the Beast Within, just because it destroys their creature they cheat in. We've got 1 green source. 2 if you count the Copperline Gorge. Probably just not good enough. Alright, we're just going to play this back again then. Alright, this is a nice opener, I think. We've got the Woe Reaper. Unfortunately, we don't have the planes for it yet, but... So depending on how long it takes our opponent to put a creature into the graveyard, we can play Woe Reaper, and because it counts itself, so you just play it as a 1 mana 2/1 that exiles one of their threats. Like, there is no second target, but... So we're going to play the Skull Clamp, and we're going to play the Mountain first, because then if we draw another Mountain we can Sulfuric Vortex next turn. And putting Sulfuric Vortex down against our opponent, which has Consecrated Sphinx, Reanimate plus the Lifelink Reanimate targets like the Sphinx, is just really good. And they've discarded 2 cards again, which means the Woe Reaper won't be as good. So I'm actually gonna I think we want to play the Woe Reaper this turn and exile the Sphinx. Sorry, the Consecrated Sphinx, not the other one. So now they have to use the other one, which is going to try and fight us with Lifelink, and the Lifelink won't do anything, so we're going to play the Vortex. Vortex says players can't gain life. And I guess we Skull Clamp our guy. It's only getting in for 2 each turn. I guess with the Vortex that's 4, but it's probably just not going to be quick enough. I think we're better off drawing 2 cards. And sure, we'll play the Gorger. So we can next turn play the Vortex or the Portal and see where that goes. But Cryptic is great, so if our opponent reanimates something we can just bounce it. Like that. So Necromancy, you can play at sorcery speed and you get a creature back from your graveyard and it comes into play with Necromancy equipped enchanted, and basically this is a reanimated, or you can play it instant speed and then you have to sacrifice at the end of turn. So it kind of has flash. And again, I'm just going to start drawing some more cards. Probably should have done that the other way around, just in case we draw something different. So our opponent gets 1 hit in against us, and then after that we can just Cryptic, and then they're going to have to reanimate it again. And they're not gaining any life because of the Vortex. So I'm hoping that between the Abbot and Vortex we should be able to have a quicker clock than them after taking the 6. Well, that's a good draw if we get up to that many lands. So play the island. And play Abbot. Shouldn't have played the land if we're going to do that though. And the Abbot's not actually going to get any damage in because this has Vigilance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we just play the portal. Well, I guess Abbot into Skullclamp is pretty much the same thing, but this is more long term for getting card advantage. Vampiric Tutor, sure. So I go pay 2 life and search for a card and put that card on top of their library. Not sure what they could be getting. Probably something to get rid of this Sulfuric Vortex. Looks like they're in a tank. I don't think they know what they're getting at this point. So if they don't have remove the Vortex, they'll probably just go for another Reanimate spell or a Reanimate target. Because if they've already got Reanimate spell, they can just flashback Faithless Looting to discard one of their another fatty to reanimate. Eventually our opponent will decide. So we've exiled the Sphinx. We know they've got this. What was other targets do they have that we've seen? Oh, we don't actually know what they get from Vampiric Tutor, do we? But I'm trying to remember what other targets they have. The Sphinx. They have the 2 Sphinxes. Don't think we've seen anything else. Oh, Dak Vaden's pretty good. Take the portal, sure. And they're going to Demonic Tutor as well. I think the best thing we could draw here is actually Time Walk. So we could go Time Walk, next turn Ugin and minus, but would be on 1 at that point. Conscripts. What does that do? Okay, I was just reading how Necromancy worked. So, well, I guess we play a land. What do we want to do? We can... So, Sulfuric Vortex, put them down to 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's play Abbot. See what we hit. A land. Shouldn't have played the island, but I don't think we can. Wait, so they're going to take 2 down 12, take 2 next turn down 10, so then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think we actually. Oh, yeah, I guess if we've got the Abbot, we can afford to. So yeah, we'll just get rid of the Dak Vaden, and I believe we can kill them next turn. So this turn we don't want to bounce this. We actually want to keep on the field so we can Zealous Conscripts it. And we should be left on exactly 1. I mean, it doesn't matter what we pick. If I choose one and they choose one, they always get to draw a card. So. If they have a counter spell, then we lose, but if they don't, then I think we can win. One, two. I guess depending on what, if they play like another huge creature, then we could just steal that with Zealous Conscripts to get rid of a blocker, if we need to. 3, 6, 7. So it needs to be a 7 power creature, I guess. Sorry, 5 because of the Vortex. Well, they know what we're gonna do now. They might not be. They might just be more worried about the Ugin actually. They shouldn't be, but we can't actually play this Mana Confluence either. Well, we can play it, but we can't do anything with it unless our opponent plays Urborg, because we're going to take 2 from the Vortex, so we can't actually use this. If it was City of Brass, then there might be some cool things we could do with it, because City of Brass goes on the stack, so the damage would be dealt to us. We've got on the stack, so if we went like City of Brass, tap, deal 1 damage to us, but on the stack, Lightning Bolt our opponent, that would actually win the game before the City of Brass kills us, but Mana Confluence is part of the cost, so you can't do it with Confluence. There's pros and cons to each one. Like, City of Brass, if your opponent makes you tap it, then you take the damage, I think. So that's where Mana Confluence is better. See what our opponent's got. Taking a long time to decide. Wait, can we not conscript this because it's got protection from red? Am I missing that? That's worrying. I need to Google that because I don't actually think you can do it. Zealous Conscription protection from red. It looks like our opponent just disconnected, so I don't know what really happened there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next playlist. I'm going to have a bunch more of these videos. Hopefully they're going to be much better drafts than this. Generally this is like by far one of my worst decks I've built, so if you guys want to see some better decks, then feel free to subscribe, and peace.